we're finally more than halfway through September now, meaning I, Zak Wolf, can finally really start getting into the Halloween spirit, even if the holiday's not until the end of October. But to kick off my little month and a half celebrating, I want to bring attention to something I've been noticing Spirit Halloween do for a while now. If you've walked into one recently, or at least last year, then you might have noticed they sell furry-style masks and gloves and foot paws. And you may be wondering, why do that? Aren't fursuits supposed to be unique and higher quality than what you can buy at a costume store? Well, from what I've seen, Spirit Halloween is selling these fursuit masks and paws to a specific group, i.e. kids and teens who want to get in on the fursuiting action. You heard me right, kids fursuiting. I'm not joking either. At nearly any cosplay or furry con I or San Valentino go to, we often see at least one child fursuiting there. And I will admit it's cute. It's a good thing this channel creator was in the same team as most of the kids at the Fur Apocalypse 2024 fursuit games, being able to keep them under control if need be. The reason being that I, i.e. the channel creator in here, has that summer job with the local minor league baseball team as one of their mascot performers. And my biggest strength there is I'm so good with the kids. Being on the high functioning spectrum, I could kind of be on their level. Well, not in the literal sense, unless of course I kneel down to them, which can then often make me appear less imitating to really small children. And also, regarding kid fursuiters, today's children are often aware that sports mascots are usually people in a fuzzy costume, and I've gotten that a lot. Reminds me of how today's kids are often less fearful than they were before. Children nowadays love horror movies and game franchises, and are more than willing to dress up as serial killers or stuff like that for Halloween, especially if they have parents who are also into that fun stuff. Though regarding kid furries, or as I call them, furlings, a la that Once Upon a Forest animated movie, in many cases their parents may not be furries themselves, but are supportive of their children's hobbies. So I could see why kids and teenagers may initially want to dip their paws into the world of fursuiting by buying something like this to start out with. This is their Gray Fox furry mask for this year. How the one they introduced last year was somewhat less fuzzier and thus not as fursuit-like as this newer kind. I've also seen them sell similar masks of a black and white dog and a red and white fox, all likely using the very same plastic base underneath. The eyes are a little off-putting because they are trying to emulate the standard contemporary fursuit face style compared to my classic cartoon aesthetic. But they could be painted to look even better if need be. Of course, these are made in China, but otherwise they're not too bad. Inside the mouth, it's pretty hollow, though, aside from the tongue, so if it were open wide enough and at the proper angle, you'd then see the wearer's jaw very easily, kind of ruining the magic. But the tongue here and the overall look I still find cute, and I also like this nice large neck nape. I love large and long necks on masks, especially when they cover part of your chest and the shoulders, and I generally build my own fursuit heads that way. And to think masks with such long neck napes used to only exist in cartoons way back when. Until the late 1970s when the Savage Eye Mask Company began producing latex Halloween masks with pretty long neck bibs. Nowadays, it's hard to not find a high-quality silicone rubber mask to have a large, long neck nape that covers the chest and shoulders. Or from other certain latex mask makers still liking that approach. Along with several other fursuit masks from other makers I have seen. I even modify my Scooby-Doo latex masks from Ruby's, which first hit the market nearly 10 years ago now, to have a nice long neck flap, similar to the Ape Man episode I frequently referenced here. Additionally, An upside with the Spirit Halloween furry masks, especially these canine mouth mover models, is that they can also be modified to the furry's liking, such as defurring parts of it, adding his or her own fake fur as a choice, redoing the eyes, like making the inside of the mouth more detailed, etc. This would make a fairly decent base for the beginner's first custom-made fursuit mask project, but I'm not sure Spirit Halloween is aware of that. Regardless, like I've said, the reason Spirit Halloween is selling these fursuit-style masks and such is that they are largely targeted at kids and teens just getting in on the furry scene, along with others new to the fandom who want to get started in fursuiting but either don't exactly have their own fursona yet and or the resources to get their own unique fursuit. The channel creator, i.e. me, used to often cosplay as Disney's Big Bad Wolf at such cons prior to my being brought to life in fursuit form. So I could see where this is going. The furry fandom has more widespread acceptance now compared to 20 years ago, and I do like that. Heck, furry cons are now bigger than ever as a result. Later next month, I will, of course, be heading to the Fur Apocalypse in Stamford, Connecticut, as part of my new way to celebrate Halloween. But until then, stay tuned to this YouTube channel to see whatever comes up here next.